I've been out of politics for a few years now. I've had a chance to think a lot about what makes our country so great. What kind of leadership is required to keep it great?
A look ahead to 2016. That was Hillary Clinton on the campaign trail yesterday. Her first political campaign appearance in more than 4 years. And someone also weighing a 2016 bid, Jeb Bush. The two shared a stage a few weeks ago, and John Carl asked him about some of the behind-the-scenes moments between the potential rivals.
What's that conversation like?
Well, it was very friendly. Treating people fairly and with civility is not a bad thing. It'd be good for our country if political leaders actually took that to heart.
There's so much public distaste, rightly so, with Washington. You see it in the polls. Gallup now has 60% saying they want a third party. The congressional approval rating in some polls has gone down in single digits. Does any of that make you less likely to want to run for president?
No, my decisions won't relate to this. It deeply disturbs me as an American that loves my country that we have this massive dysfunction, and it troubles me.
But you still may run, or?
Yeah. I mean, the same place I was last time I think we visited about this, which is that this is not the right time to be thinking about that.
The former governor of Montana, Governor Schweitzer, said that we have a country of 340 million people. Isn't there somebody who isn't a Bush or a Clinton run for president?
Yeah, some guy told me that on the plane stuck on O'Hare Airport. He said he was supporting Obama. This was early in the primary, and I go, why? And he goes, well, we had a Bush, then we had a Clinton, then we had a Bush, and then now we're going to have a Clinton. And they looked at me and said, and then we're going to have a Bush. So he had an interesting perspective. I think some people believe that. That won't be a motivating factor in my decision, though.
A Bush, a Clinton, back now with the Roundtable. Peter Baker again, the author of Days of Fire, Bush and Cheney in the White House. And talking about Jeb Bush, does George Bush haunt him? Does that help him, hurt him?
Well, it's interesting. When George Bush ran in 2000, people criticized him by saying, well, if his last name were Smith, he wouldn't be anywhere. He's trading on his dad's name. Ironically, if Jeb Bush were to run in 2016, if his last name were Smith, that might actually help him. He's an impressive figure. There's a lot of Republicans who like Jeb Bush a lot. But he's going to have to deal with the legacy of his family name at this point and explain why America should go back to another Bush, even if you like the last two Bush presidents.
So they seem so different in demeanor, in everything.
They're incredibly different. You sit with either one of them, and they're incredibly different. I think the problem is which Governor Schweitzer said for both of them in this, is the country is just like, I like Jeb Bush, and I like the Bush family. I like Bill Clinton. I like Hillary Clinton. I think they did a good job. But really, we've been in this rodeo for almost 40 years. Some Bush or some Clinton on the ballot or running for president for the last almost 40 years. And I think the country's like, yeah, that was great. Give them a watch. Let them go home, and we're our new leaders in this country. And I think that's the thing that President Obama did so well. He inspired a whole new generation of folks. I don't think Hillary Clinton or Jeb Bush can inspire a whole new realm of folks to change Washington, which everybody believes we need to do, with names that have Bush and Clinton at the end.
What could Hillary Clinton do?
Well, I think she could, certainly add a dynamism that we haven't really seen yet, and I think the power of her voice as a woman, and frankly, if she had a different last name with that resume,
together.
There's an easy fix on that.
No, part of bringing Washington together, though, is something that no president really has that much control over, and it's a political parties and leadership in the Congress.
Is that really true?
I have to respectfully disagree. I mean, there have been presidents in history that put out a great vision for America, the shining city on a hill. I think of with Reagan. I think on our side with Jeb Bush, we've got a lot of great. Yeah, but I think history judges he was an amazing president. But when you look at some of the candidates that we have out there, we have a lot of great candidates. Jeb Bush has put a very positive vision. When he talks about the need for education, talks about the need for unity. I think the Bush last name actually won't hurt him. You see George Bush becoming more popular as he's been out of office. People see him him differently than they did when he got out. And Jeb is a totally different man.
And what's Joe Biden thinking right now?
You know, here's the beauty of the Democratic Party, I think, right now, is I think we have a number of people who could step to the national stage, and maybe that's going to be Joe Biden, maybe it's going to be Hillary Clinton, maybe it's going to be somebody else that we don't even know. And and whether it's a Bush or a Clinton or XYZ at the end of that ticket, I think it's going to be important.
The interesting thing is there's no heir
lucky
apparent.
for you.
There's no heir apparent in the Republican Party, which has not happened in 50 years.
Lucky for you, there's no time to talk about the Detroit Tigers.
I'm going through stages of grief right now.
And the Red Sox. Yes. Go Red Sox. Thanks, everyone.